I want to talk about Care a little bit because that's going to be the first preview everybody's going to have from your album. And it's also the song that you first demoed, right?
Yeah, the song I first demoed. Yeah, yeah.
How did that happen? That song.
Um, so I had written Care. I remember posting like a really short like Instagram clip of it on Instagram, like just after Space Cadet had released. So it was like when I was back from the US tour and I was chilling at home and I hadn't written a lot of songs in a while because of tour. That was the first song I wrote and first song I demoed. And I guess it was just, like pure like teenage angst and just like frustration at the world. And like, I guess like because of everything I've been through since I was a kid. And that was just like me just kind of getting my anger out. Because like I had that feeling when I was writing it that no one really understood me. But now I kind of understand that sometimes you can never be truly understood and you just have to accept. But yeah, I wrote it because of that. And that's how it was born.
I think it's very interesting because when I hear the word care, to me it has a little bit of a negative connotation, but probably because I always feel like I care too much. It's just always a little bit too much. What is your connotation with the word care?
For me, that's interesting. You say that. I guess it's for me, it's the need of care, and the need, like I find comfort when people care. But in the song, I say that I don't want sympathy. I just want people to care. It doesn't necessarily mean that I want people to, go through what I've been through and completely understand the situations I've experienced, but it's just to be there for me, I guess. Yeah.
I think that idea goes for everything going on in the world right now. Like, you don't really want sympathy. You just want empathy. Just, care, what you just said.
Like support and, what, obviously everything that's happening in the world is fucking like, it's insane and fucking horrible, but we needed this time. We needed this. Like, the fact is that like everyone says 2020 is like horrible, but 2020 is the year that everyone just fucking realizes shit. Like, I don't talk about this enough. I don't voice my opinion on this enough. Like, I don't fucking fight for this enough,
Yeah.
I think that's what people realize, and it's really nice.
I couldn't help but notice that you just said that you wrote the song after Space Cadet. But I also read somewhere that you had some kind of a writer's block, right? After Space Cadet, but you just accepted it. You just let it wash over you.
Oh yeah, like definitely after Space Cadet and Tour really kind of messed my way of writing music, because I always write songs in my bedroom. And I had written one of the songs on the album on Tour that's actually on the album. And it's called How's Your Day? And that's also a single. But that was the only song I'd written on Tour that's on the album. Everything else was written at home in my bedroom, and Care was the first song I wrote in my bedroom after Tour, after that writer's block, after Space Cadet. And it was like, thank fuck. I haven't lost, I haven't lost it.
Because you were afraid that you lost it a little bit.
Yeah, I was like, this is it. This is my career over. But I go through that phase every time I release like an EP. Like when I released Love One, when I released Patched Up, even after this album, which I finished ages ago. But there was that massive gap during quarantine because I'd finished it and then quarantine happened, and I was like, sick, this gives me so much more time to write because I'm not on tour. And I'm like, fuck, but I can't write. I just couldn't write. You just have to wait it out and it comes back. Artists have a habit of just stressing out, I guess. Like, I stressed out a lot and I was like, fuck, I've lost it. But it just comes. It comes.
So what did you do with your time when you weren't writing and you just accepted it? What did you do?
Pretty much like hang out with my friends and like watch loads of movies, just all the normal shit really. And like in quarantine, it was interesting because I quarantined at my boyfriend's house and I couldn't write any music, but I had to do like some press for everything like for the album and stuff and for Care, and a music video in quarantine, which was interesting because we were abiding to the rules, and also it was a really weird time also trying to create something fucking iconic. I guess we put all our energy into creating Care and into the whole, like, it made me really think about the whole album, the visual side of the album, and obviously Care in particular. And when we were filming the music video, we like converted my boyfriend's kitchen into a studio. We filmed in his garden. Like, we tried finding ways that were, abiding to the rules, but also trying to make it look fucking sick at the same time. But because I wasn't writing, I just invested all my time into the visual side of everything.
That is such an upside, and you can tell, like, this, a lot of artists has been going through this, like finding new ways to be creative with that you have less, but trying to make the best out of the barely the things you have at the moment. Yeah. Also, you've been mentioned in a lot of want to watch lists. Does that put any pressure on you when it comes to this debut album?
I don't tend to read a lot about myself, so you telling me that's like sick. But like, I think I do, because of obviously like how I'm like obviously how quickly everything happened, and like that remix blowing up, and all the amazing support, and like all the amazing things that are happening, that does come with a lot of unwanted attention. So I learned through quarantine to just kind of separate myself from that side of things. And by doing that, I just don't feel any pressure, because I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing, and I have no idea what's happening. So it's like, the fact is that I just kind of think about the music and the creative side of things, and just like leave all that other stuff. Like, it's amazing how much support I'm getting and the attention I'm getting, but I think it's healthier if I just there's a line.
You've been making music for a couple years now. You've been releasing a couple EPs. What was it that you felt like, now it's time for my debut album to be born?
I think it was because, like, so when I did all the EPs during school, so I had written them during school, and when I was a teenager, and I was super young, and I'm still super young and very naive. But I think those EPs, like by doing those EPs, made me kind of realize the sound I want to make, and it was just all of that music, like, together. And every EP I released was written during a certain time and during like a certain phase. And I think this album, Fake It Flowers, is like a capsule of my life as a whole. Has songs about stuff that happened to me when I was a kid, and like the whole thing behind the album is everything I was supposed to tell someone but couldn't, and that applies to myself, or that applies to a friend not being able to tell someone something they keep. But yeah, it's interesting because I just thought I was ready because of stuff happened on tour, and I was forced to grow up a bit because I am very babied a lot. I'm a very dependent person, so I think it forced me to grow up, and that's why I was like, maybe it's time for an album.
Yeah. How do you look at your first song, Coffee, now, having all this experience?
It's really strange. Obviously, I'm so grateful. I think people don't know how much the song means to me, and I feel like it's it was the first song I ever wrote on guitar, and it's the purest form of creation I've created, because it was just like me not fucking knowing how to do. A lot of people that know the song exist.
Yeah.
But cool.
Oh, I like that one. There is this line in the song where you sing, I promise that one day I will feel fine. And I was wondering, is that day today?
Yeah, I think so. I think once, after recording Fake It Flat, after recording the album and like finishing all the songs, I did have a feeling of, you know, of finally being content and fine for once. But it was, I speak to my therapist a lot about it, and it's like how I'm not really used to being happy, so I kind of push it away, and I'm like, ew, I don't understand this feeling, this makes me feel really uncomfortable. I feel like I should be sad all the time, so because I'm not used to like what feeling happy is like. But I think I am now, and I'm at a good place, and it's like the first time I've actually admitted that I'm okay.
And do you feel comfortable with that feeling?
Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with that. Yeah,
that's good. That's really good. And then because now that you say this, I'm wondering, is there a song on the album that makes you feel happy? Because there's this thing when it comes to artists that the best art comes from sadness, right? Do you have a favorite song that you made from happiness?
From happiness? In the whole album, probably Yoshimi Forest Magdalene is like the best example of like happiness and just like complete weirdness. And I really like that song because I wrote it. That was like the last song I wrote for the album, and it was just like, it's basically about what I want to name my kids with my boyfriend. And how he can't leave me because he thinks I'm pretty. It's so stupid, but I'm like, that's what I love about it. And made me realize I want to make more songs like that. And I would admit that most of the songs on the album are sad, but they're just like portrayed happy in a way. Like Care is something about kind of depressing, but then sonically it just sounds so happy. And I wanted music that people can dance to and be happy to. And obviously there's like some songs that probably people might cry to. I definitely have cried to some songs.
What's your favorite song to cry to?
What, in general?
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, in general, what is your favorite song to cry to?
Oh, this song I always put on like the car ride every time I'm in like an Uber, and I want to feel depressed. If I want to feel sad, or like not sad, like what's that word? Like when I want to reflect. Luna.
Yeah.
Luna by the Smashing Pumpkins from their Siamese Dream album. Yeah, that shit slaps.
That's it.
It's a good song. Yeah, that song.
I have one last question for you. Do you have a musical inspiration? Somebody that you like to listen to a lot and that just really inspires you musically?
Like for this record in particular, it was definitely like a lot of Alanis Morissette, a lot of Case Choice, and like just loads of amazing female artists of the time, like Veruca Salt, the Cardigans. Right now I've been listening to a lot of, as the best soundtrack ever. It's just all like, the soundtrack is just chicks just like rocking the fuck out. And there's this song called Kevin is Gay by a girl called Giant Drag, and it's like my anthem right now. So,
I'm gonna play that song. Kevin is Gay by
Giant Drag.
I've never heard of that
Same.
act. Okay.
Yeah, literally same. But it's from that movie, But I'm a Cheerleader. You should definitely watch it. So it's really fun.
Cool. I'm gonna do it. All right. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for doing this with us, and enjoy making this new EP.
Thank you.